to ensure that we gain what we seek to find with Iboga. Perhaps it's important for us to consider its spirituality in Bwiti and Africa. There has not been a time where Iboga and Bwiti and the music and the culture have been separate processes. There is not a recorded time. So we must consider, from a Western perspective, when we come to Iboga, its deep spirituality and heritage. And if we consider Iboga and we merely look at Iboga as a plant that is supposedly a medicine that does something to us, we are going to miss what the spirituality is, how it becomes to assist us in finding that which we seek. So first we could pose an example. When we read a newspaper, there is a newspaper, there is paper, there is ink, but these are the materials. Where is the information? In the paper. So we consider Iboga. It is a plant, but are we merely human? Where is the information that we obtain inside Iboga? How we can explain materialist components to the process of Iboga from a scientific perspective, i.e., Iboga works into the brain, Raphi cells control and begin to contain and form serotonin, which starts to develop neurotrophic factors, blah, 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 on and on and on. But these are material understandings. What is underneath? How is it that you come to see something in your life and rectify those things from your life? So I hope we are starting to think here about the deep spirituality that is within everything. Iboga cannot thrust itself upon you without you agreeing in a deeply spiritual place to become a part of Iboga. It is important, therefore, and imperative for us to understand the spiritual practice which is inseparable to Iboga through Bwiti. 4. The negotiation you have with your higher self and the tool left by Tete Zambe, which is God, which the tool is Iboga. This process left behind for us is one in which the plant contains the universal spiritual truths which are practiced outside of the ingestion of Iboga. Iboga has a meaning. It has a non-material understanding, like everything. It is spiritual. Inside the universal truth is where we become the information in the experience. The music helps us obtain the dimensional layers. The candle, the flame, signifies the beginning, Tete Zambe, God, the sun, the intersection, the point to which all points intersect, the heartland, Gabon, the cross, the equatorial line with the meridian. This is all deep meaning. Meaning is not material. Meaning is where we change. So it is important for us when we look to consider Iboga, so we have enough respect and we pay reverence to the peoples who are first peoples of the earth, such as the Bibongo and the other tribes of the Pygmies of the forest of Gabon. If we understand the deep spiritual practice, when we come to Iboga and we listen, we can make the changes that we need. If we go somewhere to have Iboga at a retreat center and the people are talking to us with the primary intent of explaining the scientific factors in and around curing addiction, mental illness, these are all secondary to the spiritual understandings where the maladies will be overrun and fixed by you and God. If we focus on those materials too much, we are being assailed by the response Therefore, being assailed by the response, what I mean by that is it becomes a medicine. And if you consider medicine now, it becomes non-spiritual. So it becomes an event that is thrust upon you. And you make an adjustment according to what you had calibrated and presupposed in the medicine's efficacy. So you only respond to what you think the medicine can do for you. We must come to Iboga and follow the spirituality so we are shown why we had created a situation that we seek to alleviate. The freedom is in knowing that thought creates reality. This is known because this is a spiritual practice. We must understand how we came to be here, and that's what we're looking at. But if we're coming to a place and have followed the materialist understandings in and around Iboga without giving great empathy and respect, reverence and gratitude for the first peoples who are inseparable to the processes, then we serve to water down what it is in our healing that we seek. It is with the deepest intent here at Ikara that we follow our spiritual teachings and teachers and develop our spirituality, which is primary to Iboga. In fact, Iboga is the tool. So to understand these things, we then understand how Iboga works. So when you come, you have the experience that is deserved of you, that is you. That is nothing else. It is not a medicine where you lose accountability and responsibility for the process. Here you walk away with what you need, not what you want, because you've listened to God. That word doesn't have to be frightening either. Tetezambe, God, is merely the essence of all creation. And in the teachings of Bwiti, we have Tetezambe at the top of the pyramid in the Trinity, and we have in the bottom Yagonde and Yakombe, I should say, which are the androgynous twins or the children of Mwanga Benda and Tetezambe. And Mwanga Benda is on the other end of the pyramid. This is God and God's wife and God's children. Mwanga Benda being the spirit, Tetezambe being the beginning, the fire, the light of the sun, and Mwanga Benda is represented, I should say, of the moon. These are beginnings and understandings that often can sound a little bit away from perhaps our rushed intent with healing. What has this got to do with our healing? Well, if you're seeking Iboga, it has everything to do with your healing, because whether we see that or not, these processes are inside as universal truths inside Iboga. They will be downloaded and then translated according to your higher self, according to its understandings, and then further translated towards your physical mind and self so you understand your symbols and ideas of the universal truths. There will be hints everywhere. If that makes sense, the universal truths of the geometries, the astronomical information, the pharmacopoeia, and all the deep spirituality, the mathematical and geometrical understandings through Iboga all come to you, but you translate them in this state, this dimension, into something that is understood by you in the physical. So Iboga comes in dreams, it comes in thought, it shows, it delivers the universal truth everywhere after this. That is the Spirit speaking to you, but sometimes we do not understand the language. So we need to watch. When we finish our situation with Iboga, we listen. We do not shy away from the thoughts that previously haunted us. We do not shy away from anything. We sit with ourselves and we listen. Because in this listening, we have the translated universal truths that seek to rectify that which has ailed us from our lack of awareness and connection to self, which is God. It is the disconnection that brings the malady. You are reconnecting with the soul, and it's very real. And as I gave the example before about the newspaper, where is the information? Is a beginning to this conversation from a Western philosophical perspective. Spirituality is everything. Without the true spirituality, Iboga will do something. It will do amazing things. It will cure and detoxify the body. It cleans the neural network of the body. It cleans the blood. It does many things. But without the understanding of our participation in spirit, we do not grab hold of the universal truths that will free us truly from what caused these events. You will merely make adjustments. That's not why you come to Iboga and pay good money to have Iboga. It's not a retreat center to have a holiday and to draw and to do yoga. These things happen later when you understand why you do yoga and draw. Then they become enjoyable. They're distractions during the process of Iboga. We have talked about this a lot. So you need to seek out those people who are living and breathing Bwiti. Living and breathing Bwiti in terms of its spiritual practice. Not standing and saying, I am a Ganga, I am initiated into this or that tradition. That means nothing. These people are doing nothing by saying that. That does not mean anything. You cannot see the spirit I'm talking about. That's just the material. You cannot see the spirit of a man unless he starts to talk the truth. We're having this conversation. The truths are being spoken. You deserve to come where some people are strong, that stand for themselves and do the work every day, but do not seek to display their ego from a perspective of I have been initiated into this, I am capable of this, I do this. This means nothing. You can do all of the initiations in Africa that avail you. You can pay your way, you can do all of these things. You can do all of the mechanistic processes, the material aspects, and still not understand the deep spirituality that heals another person or yourself. 40 years you can do this and not understand. And intelligence is not dependent upon calibrating and accumulating information. Many of us know that. So I hope that when people are considering, that they look for true Ganga, meaning a servant to God. True Bwiti, meaning they have some understanding of the spirituality. Because this is where the healing happens. This is where the relief of the maladies occur. Rather than looking at the superficial level of healing, we go to the cause, which frees you forever. It frees yourself. It emancipates yourself. Through God. Tete Zambe, Mwanga Benda, Ya Gonde, Ya Kombe.